Am I already gonna cry? Are you kidding me? It's fine. I'm okay. I am emotionally stable and well. Devastation. It's just emotional devastation. Hi, my name is Rachel and today I'm talking about Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. In reality, today we're talking about emotional devastation. This book was written for those of us who still cry over things that happened in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, I will not elaborate. Kelly knows what she did, okay? She knows what she did. This book had me bawling my eyes out at 1 o'clock in the morning. The pain of the ending of this book, which I will not spoil for you, except to say that you will be emotionally damaged. It is something that I will never get over, but wow! This reading experience, wow, I probably just scared my neighbor's dog. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog! The writing in this is just phenomenal. I hang on Kelly Andrews' every word in this. Not only her ability to set a visual scene, but to create unsettling and creeping dread in a way that you feel in your very bones. But where it really took my breath away was her ability to write and convey and express feelings that I would have never really had the language to articulate. Am I already gonna cry? Are you kidding me? Just absolutely immaculate. I will give you the synopsis and then I'll tell you some of my very unhinged thoughts on this because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I want to tell you the feelings I had while reading it. This is all about me today and my feelings. Is this going to be a good review? Probably not. I hope you like me at my most unhinged. Good for me, I guess. Here's your synopsis. Wyatt Westlock has one plan for the farmhouse she's just inherited: to burn it to the ground. But during her final walkthrough of her childhood home, she makes a shocking discovery in the basement. Peter! Peter! Oh no. My kids started playing Fortnite and now anytime I hear Peter, all I can hear is Peter, Peter, Peter. All he says is Peter. Peter never remains dead for long, but he can't really live either. Not while he's bound to the farm, locked in a cycle of grisly deaths and painful rebirths. There's only one way for him to break free. He needs to end the Westlock line. He needs to kill Wyatt. I love it. With Wyatt's parents gone, the spells protecting the property have begun to unravel and dark ancient forces gather in the nearby forest. They sure as shit do. They do. The only way for Wyatt to appear, to spare, oh my god! To repair the wards is to work with Peter, the one person who knows how to harness her volatile magic. But how can she trust a boy who's sworn an oath to destroy her? When the past turns up to haunt them in the most unexpected way, they are forced to rely on one another to survive or else tear each other apart. Here are the trigger warnings directly from the author. Animal death, not pets. Blood, allusions to violence, abuse, poisoning, cults, bones and skeletons, allusions to sexual assault, paranormal activity, elements of body horror, mild gore, insects, spiders. Giant spiders. Just want to make that clear. Mild depictions of torture. I would also add on to their child abuse, child abandonment. I have to tell you something else before we continue. I think this author is the coolest person ever and I want to be her friend. This does not affect my review. Kelly, if you are watching this, please look away for like 2 minutes, okay? So just between my audience and I did not love Kelly Andrews' previous book, The Whispering Dark. I love Kelly's writing. I love her writing so much. The plot in this book just did not hit for me and the emotional devastation was not quite there. This is more of a snapshot book where we're doing a very particular thing in a very particular place for a very specific amount of time and then it's over. In the sort of way that, you know, that book, that movie with John Krasinski with the monsters, it's sort of snapshot like that. It's a lot like this. So if you like that movie, the John Krasinski movie about the monsters, you're just kind of having this snapshot of this family in this like very particular area experiencing like something gruesome and horrible for a very short amount of time. That works for me. So we're not doing like a bunch of stuff for a longer period of time that I didn't feel like got fleshed out enough like happened in this book. This book is different. I love this. This was perfect for me. If you view it as a snapshot book, I think it'll work for you. There's something very insular about this story that worked so well here that I wish The Whispering Dark had done. That being said, there are characters that briefly appear in Your Blood, My Bones that are in The Whispering Dark. The main character from this book is in this book. You don't need to read one to read the other, okay? You don't need to, but I did like knowing who the characters were so that when they came up in Your Blood, My Bones, I was like, oh, hi friends. How goes the, creepy shit in your neck of the woods? All this to say, you can read this without reading this and vice versa, but I did love this and gave it a 5 while I gave this a 3.25. All right? And whatever this author puts out next, I'm making preemptive grabby hands for because I really think it's only like an uphill trajectory from here. Again, I really, really love her writing in particular. So let me tell you some stuff about this book and hopefully not cause myself to sob again. First of all, there is a cat Our main character Wyatt has a cat named Slightly, who is this old cranky cat who she brings back to her dad's house that she left a long time ago with her mom. She inherited the house from her dad, and Slightly comes back with her and she's like, all right, Slightly, give you one last romp in the woods and then, you know, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. She shows up and she's gonna burn this house down. She's pouring gasoline all up in this house. She's like, I'm gonna burn this bitch down and then I'm getting the fuck out of here and fuck this place, because her dad was part of a cult and she didn't really have a good understanding of what was happening when she was a kid at this house. And it was her mom and dad lived there, and a lot of the time she spent was hanging out with her friend James and Peter. So it was the three of them, and they became extremely close. Like, they are very close, a tight-knit group, but is also kind of shitty to each other, you know, in the way that kids are when we're young. Our friends are our biggest champions and also our first bullies. You know how it is. She comes to find out that Peter has been being ritualistically murdered by the cult that her dad was a part of at this place, and this is tied to keeping the wards and the house safe, keeping things outside in the forest from coming inside. And Peter is this kid who has always just wanted to go back home to his mom. Oh no. Bitch, if you don't get it together. You know how when you look back on being a kid and as an adult, certain things that you saw get recontextualized and you're like, oh no. That happens a lot for Wyatt in this book. Peter is telling her, what you were experiencing, here's the reality of that I was living. And she's told right off the bat that he needs to kill her in order to be free. And so they're sort of in this standoff where she's like, are you gonna kill me? And he's like, am I gonna kill you? And it's very painful for them because, again, they have a long history together. And Wyatt was always sort of like on the outs in this friend group because she was like, first of all, it was her dad's house. Second of all, she was the girl and she was always very emotional. And as an adult, she sort of like learned to not want to have these emotional outbursts. And so she's like constantly like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And at one point, it describes her as a scream in the form of a girl. And I was like, oh. Me. And there's very clearly always been a level of feelings between Peter and Wyatt, and it's sort of an unspoken thing between them. And so they have to grapple with, here's the reality of our situation. You need to kill me. This is your place, and you're supposed to be the person who continues the wards, otherwise the evil is gonna get through. And we don't know what the fuck to do. Like, it's just the two of us. We're fucking stuck here, and there's like things on the borders that are threatening to get in. There's things that constantly want to kill Peter, and it's just like very high stress, but also with incredibly beautiful like juxtaposed with this incredible writing, and it's just like such an experience. But Peter doesn't want to love her. He doesn't want to feel anything for her or for their friend James. He has been ritualistically sacrificed over a long ass period of time, and he is still hoping that he can go back to where he came from, which is a different world. Kelly writes both of these books have like portals to other worlds involved, and he wants to go back home to his mom, who he sort of still remembers. And this is the part that really killed me. Oh no. He thinks and talks about his mother a little bit, and it says that when he got small mercies from Wyatt's family, he didn't want them. It says he didn't want baseball cards and Hot Wheels and knotted yellow yo-yos. He wanted a mother he remembered. He wouldn't admit to her that he could only conjure her in shades and silhouettes, like the hum of a half-forgotten lullaby. It's fine. I'm okay. I am emotionally stable and well. I do not cry about everything. Oh no, I am unwell. Okay. And Wyatt is constantly wondering, like, she really struggles with like feeling worthy of love because James and Peter sort of treated her like crap when they were kids. And now, like, obviously, if he wants to ever go home, he has to kill her. And the theme is really like, they were in a way, they were in many ways home to each other in this place where it was incredibly lonely because the adults were off doing cult shit. Peter and Wyatt and James, they were each other's first home. And so there's this return to that for just a brief snapshot of a moment, and it's very painful. And she's constantly wondering, like, if any of that was real, and if he if she matters to him at all the way that he always did to her. She left under like shitty circumstances and didn't see him for a long time, didn't think he would be there when she got back, and so she's dealing with like, are all these memories that I have even real, or do I have a different perception of what was happening when we were all here together, the three of us, this unit that was so bonded in a way. It says, oh, I'm not gonna cry. She's looking at him and it says, dully she wondered if this is what heartbreak felt like, looking into the eyes of someone she'd spent her whole life memorizing and finding nothing recognizable left over in their depths. This is what I was talking about with like putting things to words that I had never really been able to articulate. Oh no. This is honestly kind of embarrassing. I've talked before on this channel about how like in the last few years of me having this channel, I went through a process of cutting off my biological father forever. We'll call him Steve. The last conversation I had with Steve, we were in a car and I had a moment there where I looked at him and I said, I don't think I'm worth enough to you to apologize for anything. And he looked at me and he said, apologize for what? And the look in his eyes was so sad and to me. And when I read that line, it was able to articulate like a very formative moment in my adult life that I'd never been able to verbalize before. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go chill out for a second. Okay, I'm fine. And I think that really shows the power of Kelly Andrews' writing. Kelly Andrews is able to craft a sentence, and not just craft a sentence well, because you can craft a sentence well. Craft a sentence that evokes such emotion, added on to the fact that she has created these characters that you are deeply feeling the emotions of already because they're such well-written characters. On top of this very tense scene, not only what's going on between the characters, but the setting itself feels so tense. It's like such a well-crafted emotional experience to really like get the most out of you. I can't say enough good things about how well written this was. That's why I say I just hang on her every word, because I just felt like it was like a symphony. Like it was so perfectly mastered. Like she's doing these instruments and these instruments and all of them are just coming together to create this like perfect beautiful sound in this one moment. And I love that it's again like an insular story, like a snapshot of a story, like you're looking at a picture of something and you're kind of like wondering what was happening on the outsides, on the, you know, the parts you can't see. And it's just this like one moment in time. It's beautiful in that way, because at the end, and I feel like the ending, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, but the ending is sort of like, was any of this, and it is real, but it's sort of like, because you just experienced this and it was so much. You ever leave an experience and you're like, did I imagine all of that? Like, how can all of that have happened to me? And I don't even know how to verbalize that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to spoil anything because I think that the experience of it is part of the importance, but I just want to emphasize how well done I think that the characters and their particular interactions was, how great of an idea to keep this very insular and stuck on the farm for the most part. You do leave for a minute there and then you're like, oh shit, we have to go back. I think the outside characters added a lot to it. The outside characters that came from the Whispering Dark are briefly in it, and that added a lot to it. I thought that I saw where it was going, but it's okay that you see where it's going, because it's not really there to surprise you. It's there to evoke emotion out of you, which I thought was really smartly done in this book in a way that this book didn't quite do for me. But here, the things that you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna guess what's happening. It's not that you're not supposed to guess, it's that you're supposed to experience what's happening between the characters, not so much the twists. The ending, I was pleasantly surprised with how we did some villain shit that I was not anticipating. There were some twists and turns there that I didn't expect, and I was like, oh, that's great. I didn't see that coming, and I'm really happy with it. After I had sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, it was so sad. It just broke my damn heart. Kelly and I like watch a lot of the same media, so like Kelly is the author that if I had ever chosen to actually sit down and write, that I wish that I could have been. I can tell where like the media that inspired the feelings behind this, not so much the characters, but the feelings behind this came from. And I'm like, oh, this is emotional devastation that I haven't experienced since, harken back to old pieces of media that we have both consumed. For those reasons, this is a 5-star book. It's a little bit paranormal, horror-ish, supernatural devastation. It's just emotional devastation. And I hope that you'll pre-order it. I have pre-ordered it. I will leave a link down below if you pre-order it from the particular bookshop down below, from the particular bookstore down below. There's like pre-order merch, but you can also get it from bookshop or Amazon if you need. I will leave links below, and I will leave a Goodreads link below. You can also always, you know, tell your library you want a copy. So anyway, that's my review of Your Blood, My Bones. I hope that you liked watching me cry, because that was honestly kind of embarrassing, which I say every time I cry on this channel, which is too often, I'd say. But this really had me sobbing. I remember texting my husband being like, this is a mean woman. She did mean things. You hurt my feelings. And then I told her the next day. I loved it. I hope that you will love it as much as I did. I think if you go into it with very specific expectations of like what you're gonna experience, that you'll like it. I'm just so pleased. Like, I am so happy that I loved this. The other one was kind of giving me the same feelings as like The Covenant, but it didn't quite hit as hard as The Covenant did. But this one, it hit all the right notes for me. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Comments and questions down below. Like and subscribe if you want to. Check out the book. Okay, bye. Hello, it is Trash Can Rachel. It is the end of video credits, so I'm here to say thank you for being a friend to my Therapy Bills patrons first and foremost, and those are Alexander, Brittany Bobitney, Cami, Chris, Dalton Smith, DJ Rocktopus, Ellie, Emperor's New Blues, Aaron with 2 E's, Eric, Ethel Golightly, JC Murphy, Jack, Jesse, Jill, John E, Julie D, Helene OK, Casey McKenzie, Kate W, Caitlin M, Quinn, Lady Kittybug, Lemon Jelly, oh my god, that makes me hungry, Lex, Max Baker, Mixer Boneless, Night Owl Reader, Alice, Panoramic Demon, Rachel C, Rain, Reese, SJ, Scarlet, Samar, Shadow Auntie, Shiny, SMK, Steph B, 2 Orbit, Chai Guy, and the Salem T. Lynn. Thank you all so much for being here and for being a friend. And last but not least, I have to say thank you for being a friend to my Potato Search Marxist patrons, and those are my favorite flavor is Rachel. Oh my god. Why? Alicia, Amanda, Andy, Angelica, Anita, Artie the Ninth, Ashley H, Ava, Ballads and Bookends, Beck, Blake Lemon Pants, Blythe, Bookish Bats, Bookish Brainrot, Bree, Caitlin, Cardinal Ginger, Carlin, Casper, Kate W, Catherine, Kathy, Chris, CJ, Clementine, Cole, Colleen, Corwin, Cosmic, Danielle M, Darren, Deborah, Diet Goth, Dorian, Ebby, Ember, Emerald Dodge, Emily A, Emily L, Emma, Aaron, Ezra Moon, Fiona, Hannah C, Harpy Kuro, Haley G, Ilianaka, India Inks, JM Tennant, Jay is on Olympus, Jelly V, Jen Michelle, Genderqueer, Jenny G, Justice Sue, Jillian, Jojo Bookish, Kai, Kat, Catherine M, Katie, Kayala, Kendra, Kiara, Laughing Cat Dog, Laura G, Lauren G, Lazarus, Library Scars, Lindsay M, Lisa B, Lisa L, LP, Lou Siri, Lustful Octopus, Martin, MV Marlowe, Madison, Man-Eating Plant, Marcella, Marquita, Malara, Mentally Unwell, same, May, MK Books, Molly, James, Nat, Natalie M, Never, Nicole G, Nicole R, Nyan Binary, Paige P, Penny Chilling, Foxglove, Rachel B, Reba, Rebecca, Rivi D, Rosie, Rowan, Secoria, Sadie, Sayer Riley, Sakia Lume, Samantha M, Samantha O, Sarah H, Sarah the Bear, Sarah Z, Shamed, Shannon, Sheen Onion, Sean, T Delegati, Tay, Talia, 3 Old Dogs, Tiana, Tina, Toast, Trash Can Teddy, Ty, Tito Phoenix, Wiki Cherry, and Writer A. Thank you all so much for being here and for being a friend.